Welcome back to another restoration blog where I show you what's going on with projects that you might not see in another video. Let's start over here with the off-road wrecker. One of the major issues with this truck has always been the brakes. So I'm putting disc brakes on all four corners of this truck. The drum brakes did not hold very well, especially if you were going backwards. So if you started to roll down a hill, you may not be able to recover until you're at the bottom. I did break the front differential on this vehicle at the last off-road event, recovering an old Land Rover. So I've moved my differential from the rear that has the ARB locker in it up here to the front. And unfortunately, I cannot get another ARB for this truck right now. None are in production and nobody has any for sale. So I'm going to be putting a welded diff back here in the rear. And here's that welded diff right here. If we look down inside the hole, you can see everything has been stick welded together. And this should hold up and be the strongest differential that I've ever had in this vehicle. Another thing that I wanted to work out on this truck was this rear sling. At the first off-road games, this sling was just flying around all over the place. At the second off-road games, I left it in the paddock before going out on the trail. And now I've come up with this system to hold the sling so that it's out of the way when I am not using it, but I can carry it with me just in case I need it. So you can see now I have access to my 3 pintle hitches and I have access to my winch. Yes, it may rub a little bit here if I'm winching at an extreme angle. And I can also take my crane off and use the hook on the crane, and the sling will stay in place because it is now clamped up here. So that is just another one of these Badland winch mounts bolted up here and with a little clamp system welded onto it with a homemade hand nut to be able to tighten that up and do that without any tools. So my sling is now nice and secure on the vehicle. No more banging around. I'm not going to be hearing the chain slapping around, and I'll be able to carry it with me all the time. Another major upgrade I'm going to be making to the wrecker for this year is changing from these old Humvee tires to a set of these IROC Super Swampers. And here in this tire you can see this sleeve. This is what makes my wheel a double bead lock. That gets clamped in between the 2 pieces of the wheel. And I think this set of Interco tires is going to make a huge difference in what the wrecker can do. I think the old military tires, when you aired them down, they did not squish that much. I think the sidewalls are very thick on these tires and they held their shape very well. Whereas these purpose-made off-road tires should have a ton of flex to it and a ton of grip. Next is my new AluCab Land Rover Defender, and I am so excited to get started on this vehicle. The first issue I noticed while driving this vehicle, here in the rear view, you do not get much of a view behind you. So one of my first upgrades is going to be to replace this rear view mirror with a camera system. And I already have the camera system here that I'm going to be using, so look for a video on that soon. When I got this vehicle, there were some gremlins in the electrical system. Things such as the interior lights could not be turned on, but I have that all sorted and it's controlled by my phone. So with a click of the phone, I can now turn everything on and off. I can also monitor the entire electrical system in it. And I've already ordered a new shift knob for this vehicle because Andre took his off. The shift knob he was using was made for him by someone special to him, so I got the vehicle with no shift knob. So one of those is on the way. One thing that we didn't show in the video when I got this vehicle was this log. So we have a maintenance log of everything that has been done to the vehicle. So on an expedition vehicle like this, where you may need to know exactly what has been done and when, to know when things were last replaced, it's really nice to have this handy. So good on you, Andre, for keeping these records for me. Next up is the Land Rover Defender 90 that I bought off of Bring a Trailer. I've had this vehicle for about a year now and I'm still working out the issues. The clutch on this vehicle has never felt quite right and it's always ground going into second gear. And as you can see, there's a puddle starting to develop finally beneath the clutch pedal. So I believe that the master cylinder for the clutch is leaking. I do have a new master cylinder and I just need to find the time to put that in. Hopefully soon I'll have all the problems with this vehicle worked out and I'll have the vehicle that I thought I was buying off of Bring a Trailer. I'm kind of running out of room in the building right now, so if anyone is interested in some of these cars that I have sitting around, this is an MGB, mostly brand new bodywork on this. Very, very solid car. I have most or all of the mechanical bits for this car as well. There is an engine and a transmission. Should be able to find most of the things you need. I might even consider throwing in another MGB that I have on the shelf just to make sure that you get all the parts you need for finishing that car. I also have the 2 extra Elvas over here. This is a Mark II, this is a Mark IV, as well as 2 Barclays over here. One is a 2-cylinder, one is a 3-cylinder. If anyone is interested in these cars, send me an email. thisweekwithcars@gmail.com. I'm not in a hurry to get rid of them, but I'm just throwing it out there. I think I have something really cool worked out to happen with this Corvair. So I think there's a little bit more work that I want to do to it. And then there's going to be, I can't tell you much right now, but something really neat that we're going to do with this car. So look for new videos on this Corvair coming out soon. I haven't had the old BMW 2002 running in about a year, so I need to get it started again. I have it stored on my rollback right now because I don't have any room to put it anywhere else at the moment, but I'll get it running and start to finish it up. I need to figure out some problems with the turn signals. It's something I'm probably not going to do a video on, but in my restoration series of blogs, I will let you know what I found on the turn signals and how I solved it. And then here in front of my Rally Porsche 944 is barn Sprite number 4. I have the engine and transmission out of it so that I can put a 5-speed Ford transmission into it. And yes, believe it or not, this is one of the bug eyes that I had found in the barn, and it's been all restored. Looks like this, and now I'm doing another major upgrade to it. The Tiger project is now switched with the Bronco project. I really want to get the Bronco done. I think this is going to be a really sharp truck when it's done. My Innocenti S Spider has been sitting here for just about a year, I think. I finally have my new door cards as well as new seats put in the car. These are pretty neat seats. They have these ventilated grommets on the back of them. So let me know if you want to see more videos on this Italian Austin Healey Sprite called the Innocenti S, and maybe I'll jump back on this project. Then here's the GT6 project. The body has been mounted to the frame. That way these floors and the rest of the sheet metal can be cut out and everything is going to line up correctly. Now that the frame is in place, you'll probably see huge changes happening to the GT6 in these videos. The 70 Corvette is painted and looking pretty good. This is a single stage black paint. It's just a matter of putting a few things back together and this car can go back on the road. And here's the Chevrolet C20 project. It's time for the doors and windows to go together. Here's a little peek on the inside. The new fuel tank is in place. And these trucks originally had this little cardboard cover that gave a little bit of barrier between the seat that sat here and the fuel tank. Probably a lot of these are destroyed and missing on trucks that are out there today. But these pieces are reproduced and you can put them in your truck if you're missing it. Then next to the Chevrolet is the Austin Healey 106 project. There's still loads to do on this car, but the bodywork and the trim need to be finished before we can dive in and put in the wire harness and finish up the mechanicals. And that's going to be it for today. So if you want to see more videos like this, comment below and click subscribe.